our old connector, our old plate. There's a little piece of tape covering the really fine wiring that connects the plate to your turntable, the circuit board, I should say. Peel that off because you need to get to the little small wires here. And these are the wires you have to be really careful with, because if you break them, then you have to order a whole new tone arm, and that's where it gets really expensive. But hopefully you can see. I know it's kind of bright because I got this super bright flashlight, but there's little points. I'm going to get the phone down to show. So yeah, in here there is little solder points here on each of these little wires. So one by one you have to melt and remove those wires, and then set them aside so you can disconnect this whole board, and then you're going to put the new board in place and solder the new wires to it. So I don't know if I got it on video good. There we go. So yeah, that's where it is. I'll see if I can move my phone down a little bit closer so that it gets a little bit better of a view. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm not super professional with my filming, but should be okay for this purpose. Let's see here. I might try and, since I'm doing more fine work, try and do a little bit tighter of a shot. Sorry for all the shaking and whatnot, but hopefully it's worth it in the long run. Okay, so we're going to do it like this. Let's see here if I can put this flashlight in a spot where it actually shines onto the board. Alright. Okay. So then I'm going to have to try and maneuver my magnifying glass so that I can see the cables better. Okay, so I've got a good view of my cables here. And then what I did before, when I did it the first time, I wrote down the number or the order of the wires so that when I disconnect them all, I know which one goes in which, because it's not really clearly marked on the new circuit board. So I've got my cheat sheet to tell me which one goes where. So now I've got my soldering iron. It's pretty good and hot. So here we go. This is the first process. So I'm going to heat these little solder points up, and one by one pull these wires off very carefully. It's a little nerve-wracking because these cables are so small. There we go. There's the first one. Give it a chance to cool for a second. Slide it out of the way. Move on to the next one. Okay. All right, that's 2. That's 3. Just a couple more. I can't get a hold of the green one. Okay, there we go. And 4. And then just one more and I'm done with these little wires. Alright, that's 5. Okay, I'll put my soldering iron back in its little holder. And now we take off the old clips, or the old circuit board. So we got one screw that's really long. Put that aside. And we've got one that's short. That aside. And you'll see that, let's see here, that just pops out. And then on this one, what you got, let's see here, this tape. So I'll take this little piece of tape off. And with my new one, I didn't put this tape back on, but it's so neat of a connection.